The power of dreams. We examine how India is trying to build for a road racing future. Our classic race goes back to the Asia Dream Cup.
Nakamura tries to sprint, Hari Krishnan in second. The Asia Dream Cup really is coming of age.
This is my first international podium, so I'm very happy about it.
And our team in profile features Honda India's hopes to build on 2 seasons in the ARRC. Plus, TJ Alberto braves the fog of Sugo for his update on round 3 of the All Japan Championships, where Katsuyuki Nakasuga continues to reign supreme. But India first, and you need to start from the bottom if you want to get to the top. That means backing your young riders. Today's classic race comes from 2016 and saw the best ever result for an Indian rider at Asian level. A runner-up spot for Hari Krishnan at the Honda Dream Cup Series race in Buriram.
Race 2 of the Asia Dream Cup is underway, and it's a solid start from Hafiz Noor Azman. Nakamura just slipping into his slipstream, and the front 3 have got away quite nicely. Brock Pearson's also made a decent start as well, but 1 to 4 on the grid, or 1 to 4 into the first corner.
Well, it's a good start by all top 3 riders, Hafiz Noor Azman, Hiroki Nakamura, and also Mohammad Fabian Shah. And number 7, Brock Pearson. Yesterday I did say that Pearson is one of the riders that we should look at closely because of his timing during practice and qualifying. As you can see now, he's taking over to lead the race. It is still early, only few corners, but it's good to see Pearson in front, Haris Farhan. So we're going to have at least 5 or 6 riders now battling in this race to win, to be in P1. We have a group now in front with Nakamura, Pravin Shah, Hafiz, Harith, Warapot, Brock Pearson, all of them.
Just caught the front end, and that is Mohammad Fabian Shah. Yesterday's winner is out of the race on the notorious corner number 12, and that is a look of absolute frustration for Fabian Shah.
Yeah, we was for Fabian Shah. Once again, we have a look at it. A little bit late breaking. He the rear tire of Warapot. Niam Sasakul, who incidentally set the fastest time.
Coming in though is Nakamura, Pearson in close pursuit, Warapod currently in second. In the battle behind, Tadachi leads Hari Krishnan, Ditong from Vietnam and Sitipong from Thailand, Yasin Azmohammed Noor, Corey Briffa, and Jusyung is in 13th place at the moment, but they really are chasing the minor placings. Also in the point set to Rajiv Jardin Gunawadina. U2's Yun is 20 seconds behind the leaders.
Because the battle that they had in front, the top 5, that allowed the top the pack behind to get closer to them. And now we have number 13 closing behind is Koko Masharu Tadachi and Bui Dui Tong, who set the fastest time before this with Hari Krishnan. Now all of them are merging with a group in front, and together with number 15 Boydun Tong and 17 as well, that is Hari Krishnan.
In place for corner number 12, Nakamura still leading the way for Japan. Going on the outside, I tell you, Boyd Tong is really going to have a go on this one. And also coming through on the inside, Hari Krishnan from India makes the move. Hari Krishnan has taken the lead midway through lap number 7. Lap number 7, half a lap to go.
Now we might have a new winner, and perhaps we might have a new podium winners as well, because Boy Di Tong is currently in front together with Hari Krishnan, and also we have part number 13 Koko Masharu Tadachi.
So Hari Krishnan is leading the way. Nakamura in close pursuit. Tadachi goes through now into second place. Everybody absolutely rapt as Hari Krishnan has timed this move to perfection, or has he? Because Tadachi currently in second. Nakamura, long-time leader, has got to get himself into position as they're getting into position for the final corner. It's going to be really close. Coming through is Hafiz Nakamura in position. Accident as usual on the last corner. Nakamura tries to sprint. Hari Krishnan in second. Nakamura, Hari Krishnan, Brock Pearson from Australia, Tadachi in fourth. Hari Krishnan also on the podium for the first time. and we've got new names coming into this particular championship. The Asia Dream Cup really is coming of age.
This is my first international podium, so I'm very happy about it. And yesterday I made a mistake, and yesterday also I was fighting for first position, but yesterday I made a mistake and crashed. So today I don't want to make that mistake and had it in mind and had some plans, and last lap I made a move and was able to finish second.
Indeed. It's a really impressive performance and a multinational podium there for you. Japan, India and Australia. We could have had Vietnam in there. We could have had Malaysia in there. There were all kinds of nationalities chasing that final podium.
After the break, difficult conditions in Sugo for the third round of the All Japan Championships. TJ Alberto looks back with his thoughts on the weekend's racing.
Nakasuga has basically won all the races so far, apart of course from the one that they cancelled.
For today's Idemitsu Inquest, firstly a big congratulations. Points on the board for Galanhendra Pratama in the Super Sport 600 World Championships. He picked up points. He came 15th and 10th to accumulate 7 points at Aragon. Nazani in the 1000 cc's as well in the World Superbikes. He's got off to a points-winning start to the season as well, so great news for Japanese racers on the world circuit. Coming a little bit more regionally, TJ Alberto, based out in the Philippines, joins us once again to analyse what took place at the All Japan Championships at the weekend. It was round 3 in Sugo, and it was a rather wet and windy and foggy round 3, TJ, from what you've been able to see.
Yeah, that's right, Des. It was mixed conditions this last race, not only for the World Superbikes, but also for the JSP 1000. So we saw how the conditions affected the riders. In
the first supposed race on Saturday at Sugo, conditions were so bad, the fog was so bad that the race was cancelled. But once we got onto the racing circuit at Sugo on the Sunday, it was business as usual. The championship leader, Katsuyuki Nakasuga, once again going on to take a victory. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so Nakasuga has basically won all the races so far, apart of course from the one that they cancelled. But we can see that really on any condition, Nakasuga is really putting the bike on the front. We see that down the order with Kiyonari and Somichi mixing it up a little bit. Kiyonari going for third place, and but Nakasuga, and he's put 25 points now at a total of 135 points. So pretty much won every race that he's been part of.
He's almost odds on to win the title already. Cracking little circuit in Sugo. But it was interesting, there was a yellow flag, so Nakasuga, who'd got off well, was on pole. He was forced to restart. That can be very difficult for a racer sometimes, can't it?
Yeah, that's right, because when you've done the first start of the race, you pretty much prepared yourself mentally and physically. When you restart, you lose a lot of the momentum. You know, you lose your rhythm. Especially when you've done quite a few laps in the first start of the race. Maybe you've built up a lead, and then suddenly that's all taken away from you. So it can be quite nerve-wracking for the riders in front.
Moving on to the Superstock 1000cc, they've got 3 categories. They had round 2 of their season, and a first win of the season for Kazuma Watanabe, fastest on pole, but he had to work hard to get the victory.
Yeah, so right now we have Kazuma Watanabe and Yuki Takahashi tied in points with 45 points each. So he had to work hard for that one for sure. and it's good to see Watanabe bringing a battle to the defending champ Takahashi. So I'm excited to see how this plays out in the coming races.
It might have been even better for Watanabe. He got the win, but Takahashi had to come from a long way back. He had to do some really good riding on a very difficult circuit at Tsugo. It's very hilly, and there's that chicane. It was a good ride from Takahashi.
Yeah, for sure. Takahashi did his job and took the points available on that day. So despite the bad start, he took pretty much all the points that he could, and for sure he'll be looking to take back the championship lead on the next round.
Takahashi still leads the overall championship. Watanabe is in P2. On to the Supersport 600s, and young Arakawa had a really good ride in the 600cc's. I call him young. He's mid-20s now. Is that still young for a racer?
I mean, we have right now with the trend of the greats of Marc Marquez, Joan Mir, all these young guys with so much talent and getting such great results in championships at their young age. Mid-20s, you can say, is not that young as it used to be.
In the race itself, Arakawa, he was on pole position, but he was pushed back down to P4 at the start. Didn't get off to a great start. However, he was able to work his way through the pack. Again, just from your recollections of the race, how did he race? How did he drive?
Arakawa definitely did a great race for him to come through the pack and score his first victory of the season. So I'm sure now that he's scored that first victory, he'll be having the momentum and will definitely be working hard, training hard to be consistent throughout the year.
It's Takuma Kunanime who has the top of the championship standings at the moment. But we've only had 2 rounds. It's a relatively short season in the Superstock 600 in the Philippines. As for yourself, TJ, have you been keeping busy? There's been no racing, and I've not heard any news of the Philippines Championship either. Have you got a progress report for us?
Yeah, well, we were supposed to start the Philippine Championship next week, but unfortunately, due to some, of course, restrictions with the COVID-19 pandemic now, they pushed the race to the end of June. So I'm quite excited to get back on the bike and go racing again. It's been way too long since my last race. So no expectations, of course, because, it's basically just to get back into the rhythm of things. And I'm really looking forward to lining up on the grid. I've been watching too many other people racing, and I'm really jealous now. I want to get back out there as well.
Well, we thank you very much for your contribution for covering the All Japan Championships. We'll have you again on the Idemitsu Asia Motorsports Hour. But for now, keep fit. Good luck when the season starts again in June, and thanks for your contribution. We examine how great a commitment the Idemitsu Honda India racing team have to properly implement their power of dreams. The Idemitsu Honda India racing team made the decision to enter riders into the AP250 class at the ARRC in 2018. It was a big jump from the national championships for the riders, but appropriate for a Honda team using the slogan, "The power of dreams," to take on such a challenge. Rajiv Sethu and Anish Shetty shed 9 points in the first season, an improvement in season 2, 2 top 10 finishes for Sethu, and encouraging performances by 18-year-old Sethin Kumar. We're joined by Prabhu Nagaraj, the SVP Brand and Communications Operations, Honda Motorcycles and Scooters India, to assess the progress in the 2 seasons before COVID, and to look at Idemitsu Honda India's longer-term commitment to road racing. So Prabhu, thank you for joining us. That 2019 performance from Rajiv and the teenager, was it what you expected? Is it enough of an improvement for you to be encouraged?
Definitely. I think it was good progress by Rajiv, especially because Rajiv is one of the identified riders for development by Honda Racing India, and he's progressed steadily well. In fact, in the last 2019, he had a couple of top 10 finishes as well. That is a very good progress as a rider for him. And even the Sendil Kumar, who was the rookie rider from India, he also had progressed pretty well. And his development, I think in future, we can look at him, progressing and being in the top 5.
This developmental mentality that you have, is it something that you're looking to continue? I ask, what happens if Rajiv gets really good? Do you support him, or do you support young riders coming up and move Rajiv on to other events?
See, it's a steady progress. We have a roadmap for the development of our riders. And definitely, once they progress to a certain level, then they will have a step up as part of our roadmap. So similarly, Rajiv also will have a similar kind of a step up once he progresses well. Unfortunately, the last year has been really bad for racing. Otherwise, probably by now, you would have had an opportunity to step up. So we do have plans for him in future for a step up, depending on how he performs with the AP250, because his progress has been good, and we are very hopeful that in this season, although it is almost like coming back from scratch, but still a racer is a racer. So I think he should be able to do well and progress into the top group in this season.
Can I ask what you mean by step up? Obviously, are we looking at a different class? Are we looking at Super Sport 600, which should be a massive departure for India? Or are we looking at European Championships, World Championships? What exactly do you mean by step up?
As a roadmap, it is open for all these opportunities which are available. But for Rajiv, as a current step up, of course, the next step up could be the 600cc or even starting from MSBK to begin with, and then come a step up to the SS600. And going further, maybe if he does well, then he may have opportunities to grow further as well. And we also explored the other opportunities which are available both in Asia as well as in the European segment. For example, CEV or even the endurance races. So there are opportunities available for the riders. So that's a platform which we have already created, and the progress is going well, but we go step by step. So first target would be to look at the feasibility to enter into the SS600 in near future.
Well, that's very encouraging. The first step, though, is to actually get racing again, isn't it? It's been very frustrating. And I hear that the Indian National Championships this season are going to be put back a little bit again because of COVID.
As of now, yes. Originally, it was scheduled to start in the month of June. But as of now, looking at the condition, I presume it has to be, there's no other way but for them to postpone the activities, because Chennai and is one of the worst affected areas in the second wave in the COVID now. But we are hopeful that things will improve, and at least this season it should happen, although it might be a postponement. But we hope that the activities or the number of rounds will get conducted as per the original plan. Maybe only the shift of dates might be there, but we'll have to wait and see. And we have to wait for the organizers to announce the final dates.
You mentioned something before which really tweaked my interest. You said Rajiv possibly stepping up to the Super Sport 600 category. Would that mean that the Idemitsu Honda Racing India team are considering going into those bigger classes, those bigger capacity engines?
See, that's what I had mentioned, that is the feasibility we have to check in. because we almost are restarting right now. With almost a 1.5 years gap, we have to step in and see how it progresses this year, because still things are very fluid even at this stage. But as a roadmap, yes, he has the opportunity to step up if he performs well. But the timing wise, we need to actually evaluate depending on this year's situation.
Next week, all for one for all. We focus on a unique team in the Asian Road Racing Championship underbone class.